We don't even know what the eye colors of these animals are. Imagine all the things that are even more subtle that we don't know. I think knowing more about the world we live in is its own reward, but I also think that learning about the evolution of eye color in these populations is helpful for learning about eye color in general. The cat's eye color study came about because I was taking a class on phylogenetic comparative methods. My first thought was, let me categorize eye color in all of these different populations. And I worked with Catherine Chason, and she and I went online, saw images of every species of big cat, and then cut out the iris from good photos where the cat's facing forward. It has no glare, no shadow on the eyes. I built my own analysis pipeline to expand those irises, take the pixels from them, and do some downstream analysis. I found that there's 5 eye colors in natural felid populations: brown, gray, blue, yellow, and green. When I looked at the huge variation in eye color in cats, I thought, wow, that's really surprising, especially if you look at all of their closest relatives. So if you have all the felids, their closest relative are the linsangs, and linsangs have all dark brown eyes. And then if you go one step out, you've got hyenas and genets and civets, dark brown eyes, dark brown eyes, dark brown eyes. And the second you get to the cats, suddenly there's a huge diversity of eye colors that show up. And so to figure out why that was, we used these phylogenetic methods that reconstruct eye color. And so when we went back, the ancestor of all of the cats in general, our study predicts that that ancestor had brown eyes, which makes sense, and gray eyes. That, I think, is the most interesting thing about the paper to me personally, is that we predict that the ancestor of the felids had gray eyes as well as brown eyes in their population, and that those gray eyes were sort of brownish. Where that came from, we don't know. But the second gray eyes develops, you get the explosion of eye color. You get your greens, your blues, and your yellows just starting to show up, and they're trading off back and forth, and you get some interplay between the different colors. And so to the question of why do cats have such a diversity of eye colors, my feeling is it's probably because of that introduction of gray right at the top of the tree. The study corrects an assumption that's been made for a long time that wild populations don't really vary in eye color. It's providing new evidence to the contrary and cataloging all this and showing that phylogenetic reconstruction of eye color is actually possible. That's a result that I don't want to take for granted. That's something that hadn't been shown before in this way.